Hello. So I started cleaning up my stuff. I had my furnace here, so I had a hopper and then the furnace and then the hopper going in. So I get sort of done. And I started cleaning it up because I was gonna sort out my base, and now I realised it's been a while since I've made a video, so I better do that first. So previous video, as you can see, there's the bedrock there, and that's the reason I'm moving all this stuff, is I'm about to do something that requires bedrock, and I'm hoping I can do it here. If I can't, I'll be starting a nether base and digging down to the bedrock there. But yeah, so this is the original platform I was on. This cobble is getting replaced. It's in my designs, it's glowstone. I just haven't put any effort into getting enough glowstone to put all that, replace all the cobble with the glowstone. So, yeah. I believe I had my little garden going here with my canola and my cotton and stuff, and I had some carrots along the side. So I initially made this mob farm here, and I'm killing stuff and I'm killing stuff and I'm killing stuff, and I'm not able to finish the quest because no ancient golems are spawning. And yeah, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's just bad luck, you know. I look it up and yeah, doesn't seem to be any restriction on golem spawning. But yeah, I had a hunch that, okay, we're in the Darklands Plains, which is a abyssal craft biome, which I know from playing Sevtech ages. So I was like, okay, I'll make this one here, which that's Darklands Plains, but then this turns into river and then a Corallian infested swampland river. As you can see, this one's a lot bigger, a lot longer than the other one, and so I used this one for a while and still nada. It's got 1200 loot bags stored at the moment. And so I thought, okay, well maybe the river, it says river, but the biome still for spawning stuff is a Darklands Plains. So I was like, okay, where is the closest non-Darklands Plains, non-river biome? And we don't need to go all the way over there, but that's how far away from my base I had to go. So over here is forest, or forest, beach and ocean. So basically, as soon as I built this one, the first thing that spawned was a ancient golem, which, let me do this, and this unlocks like 5. Yeah, ancient golem. That unlocked like 5 quests, and yeah. So that's the story of the 3 different mob farms. So the 2 original ones I've put torches in, so they're no longer working. I just haven't busted them down or done anything like that yet. I've also made a passive farm, which I've just chucked my nether portal there for now. I haven't had anything exciting spawn yet. Right, now I've got a bunch of I got no space for this stuff. Let's do this ultra. So I'll just have to sort that out after the video. So I've also, one of the first things I did when I was tidying up my base for the first time after the last video was to set all this stuff up. So I've got my cobble generator, which is piping into a drawer. So now I've got however many thousands of cobble that is. I am then piping the cobble into a crucible, and then the crucible is piping out to a drum, which now has 256 buckets of lava in it. That is also piping cobble into a pulverizer. The pulverizer makes gravel with a byproduct of sand, and the gravel is piped into the auto sifter. And I replaced one of the uppers with an absorption hopper, and then we're piping all that into this set of drawers here, and that's all the output. Mainly it's gravel output, but I have sifted some dust in here to get redstone, glowstone, and some blaze powder, which also got me this stuff up here and things. So that's, yeah, that's where we're at with that. My little melter set up here, piping into here, but I don't really have anything. I'll probably just bust this down. I just didn't want to take it down until I'd showed what I've done. Did have a hopper here and a redstone clock on top, but I've put the redstone clock on top of the smeltery now that I've built my smeltery. So at some point, as you can see, I've got a couple of seared bricks there. I'll put another layer of seared bricks around. So the reason for making it taller is to get more space to put things into it. And normally I have a hopper going into here as well, but I use that hopper for something. Yeah, let's also set up some mycelium in here, stone barrel, pipe in some dust, not dust, sand. Got a sink on top for an infinite water supply, and now we've got a stack and a half of soul sand for sifting for quartz. We're also piping water over into this stone barrel, which we are putting dust into and makes clay. So now I've got a stack of clay there. I was doing it manually for a while, but then I realized how much clay I'm actually using, so I better. I've got a standard furnace here. If we can actually look. So this furnace is piped in wood from my bonsai things. I'll show you in a second from the drawers to make charcoal, and that charcoal is piped into this drawer, and then this upper pipes it back in so that it feeds itself. And now I've got a lot of charcoal, so for any of my furnaces and stuff, I've basically got as much charcoal as I need, which means I don't need to use the coal, because coal is very important to use for other things, so I don't want to waste it. We'll also have a barrel here, which I am piping all the stuff in to make dirt, and then a hopper which is pushing it into here. I now have over 600 dirt just sitting there. So here's my bonsai trees. I've got 4 oak trees at the moment. Probably should do some paper trees and some spiderweb trees as well to get some string and some paper. Well, I don't need any paper. I get heaps of paper from loot bags, but string is nice. Rather than I'm growing cotton over there, but it looks like some string trees and a bonsai thing will be much better. A lot of sticks. I had to put a void upgrade on there because I was getting too many sticks. It was clogging everything up. But as you can see, all the bonsais just pipe into this draw controller, which pushes everything there, and everything gets kind of pushed around. As soon as I had 9 blaze powder, I made a blaze block and put that under for 30 times melting speed. So that's nice and goes really quick. So it's good. You definitely always want bag storage to just chuck all your loot bags in. Boom. So yeah, that's all my like little processes and stuff that you need early on in the game. Got that all working. It's handy to be able to just grab a bucket of lava or a bucket of water whenever you need it. So yeah, see the auto sifter. It's fairly simple setup. Just got 4 water wheels, so it's very slow, but it works quick enough for me at the moment. I haven't been too worried about it. In fact, I'm not running it at the moment. I've turned the pulverizer off. Actually, why is that not full of... Anyway. Because I've actually turned all this. No, turn it off. So it won't. You can see pipes in the cobble into here. The gravel goes out the side and the sand goes out the bottom. But yeah, I haven't figured out a way to do this. I thought compacting drawers would work. They do not. The compacting drawers do not compact the iron pieces down, which is very annoying. I don't know if it's an oversight or on purpose. I know in Project Ozone 2, at least in Kappa mode, they purposefully made it so you couldn't compress into blocks. You had to actually melt it and cast it as a block. But yeah, I've got 100 stacks of iron ore in here. So that's 6,400 iron ore pieces. Yeah, I just don't need to run this at the moment. I'm not using the metal up as quick as I'm getting it. So also built a couple of coke ovens from my experience in other packs. You need a lot more than one coke oven unless you take a very long time playing the pack and you immediately automate it so that it's constantly running, because I know that there's a lot of stuff in the end that needs lots of like graphite and stuff, which requires a lot of coal coke. I think I got, oh no, I've taken all the coal coke out. Also set up an improved blast furnace, but I haven't powered these yet. So you can see blast furnace preheaters, they require power. So iron and the coal coke from the coke oven and make steel and slag. So I've got a bit of steel here. Yeah, what else? I think that's about it really. Set up my atomic reconstructor here. It's almost full of power, 29,000 out of 30, well, 290,000 out of 300,000. I had the solar panels running on it first. That was the first thing I created that required power. But now I've got my solar panels up here. So these are solar panel 4s, which, yeah, they can hold 2 million power each. So that's nice. And they yeah, they're level 4 ones. So it took a lot to craft them, really, but I knew that the solar panels, where are they? Theta or Kappa? Kappa. So they go up to a huge amount. Um, but I know that like each one is kind of double or triple the one before it, kind of thing. So these do like 1 RF per tick, and the ones we've got here are like 128 RF per tick. So I knew that putting in that effort would be worth it. I believe I had to make like 30 or 40 of these level 1 ones in order to get up to here. I could probably make this one too. So yeah, see, that makes 512 RF per tick. So that's 4 times as much power. So yeah, I knew it was worth it to do it, and I also knew it was going to take a lot. Um, so yeah, I made like a lot of the level 1 ones, because it takes 4 of them to make a level 2, and so on. So, but I knew it was going to be worth it, and these solar panels are going to last for a long time because I'm using so little power, and even though they only generate power during the day, because they're so much higher level than what I need, the amount and the buffer and the amount they generate is going to be far more than I can use at the moment. So really easy kind of set and forget. Like I've got 2, but I don't even need 2. I could probably have 1 of like the tier below, and that would still be 10 to 100 times more power than I need for this machine. But yeah, I've just kept them together and put them on there. But kind of getting to the point now where we need to set up some power systems and things and actually make some machines. What I have been doing is some planting, some mystical agriculture. As you can see here, I've got redstone. Basically, I've rushed redstone and rushed black quartz. I want those 2 because I think it's going to be so much easier to set up some plants to gather those than it is to actually get them any other way at this point. This is, yeah. So you can see I've kind of rushed all the way to here, got redstone and got black quartz. The next one I'll get is the Certus quartz for the AE2 system. Yeah, so that means that because at the moment my main way of getting redstone would be to sift dust, but I still want to sift gravel for diamonds, and because my sifting is not a fully automatic process that gives me ingots at the end, I don't want to rely on it too much, and I have not found a way to kind of automate that at the start. I can probably push for a RF Tools crafter or something at this point, but yeah. I don't want to push too far in the pack just for one thing, because I know that that strategy is not going to work in Titan or Kappa mode. So I'm kind of using normal to get familiar with the mods in here. Also, definitely making a note of what mods or what parts from mods are not in a quest, because from my experience from Project Ozone 2, those are the mods that are going to be the most important to you, because they are the ones that are not going to be gated or going to be very lightly gated, so that you can use them right from the start. So things like, I haven't seen any Project Red in the quests, and Project Red, I'm done with that one. So we can see here Project Red has pipes. Routed request pipes, routed interface pipes, item extractor, terminator, broadcaster, item crafting. So I believe Project Red is kind of a replacement or upgrade of logistics pipes, which was a mod that was in Project Ozone 2, which was your system that you generally set up before you got to AE2 to do auto crafting and all that sort of stuff. It was just a bit more awkward than AE2 and less powerful than AE2. So it looks like I want to get very familiar with Project Red and how it does things. I've kind of had a look at this stuff. So where's that routed junction? So as you can see, we've got this green Illumar and red Illumar. It's basically glowstone plus a dye. So I made those two. I didn't make the infused silicon because it requires redstone. And another thing is we've got this red alloy and electrotine. So red alloy, if you don't remember from Project Ozone 2, early game required a lot of red alloy. Pistons required a red alloy ingot rather than a piece of redstone, which requires 8 redstone per ingot. So it's a huge sink of redstone. So this is basically why I pushed for the redstone plants, is because I was like, well, I think I'm going to need a lot of redstone to play around with this stuff, and I definitely do want to play around with this stuff, so that's why I've pushed for that. So I'm almost there, just trying to grow up some plants. One thing that surprised me, I'm still not used to where each thing is that the garden cloche is a bit crazy. It's easy in some ways, but crazy in others. So if we go garden cloche, look at that. It is a 5x5 recipe. Okay. So that requires an advanced crafting table. Click that. Okay, what does that require? It requires a basic crafting table and all this sort of stuff. Okay, well, I can't tell what these are. 2 crafting tables, a block of iron, and then a bunch of whatever this is. Okay, black iron plates from black iron ingot. Okay, that requires an ender crafter, which is obviously the 1.12 version of the QED. Which is ender biotite, jade, and iron. So I haven't actually looked up this. Okay, biotite is from the end, looks like. It doesn't look like there's any way of actually getting it other than through that. Because the thing is, to make the seeds you need that material. So, okay. So I knew I had to do that for jade. I know I need to go to Erebus so that I can get 4 pieces of jade at least, so I can make the jade seeds. So it looks like the same thing. I need to go to the end to get some biotite. That's a bit crazy. So I don't know why. One thing I haven't actually looked up. I wonder, because I have made a farmer from Actually Editions. So I was talking about Project Red is there's no quest as far as I can see, which to me means that it's kind of one of those stealth mods that they chuck in that if you know about it, it makes your life a hell of a lot easier because the recipes aren't gated and super complex and you can start crafting this stuff straight away and using it I think the same thing is basically with actually additions. I need to change that keybind. So if we go to beta, this is all the actually addition stuff. So you get some black quartz, which is easy enough. You make your atomic reconstructor. You use your atomic reconstructor on everything that it can be used on. You make an empowerer. Then you use the empowerer to make all the things that the empowerer can make. It is kind of what I expect that quest to be. So there's, other than the reconstruct, well, even the reconstructor and the power are kind of are intermediary machines, you know, like they're used to craft other things. They don't make items themselves. So no actually addition stuff is a quest. So any of the canola power things, block breaker, phantom, block face, or whatever it's called, any of that stuff, the miner. So I'm kind of thinking that that's going to be another one. So actually additions in Project Red are going to be kind of the ones that you want to push for because they're not going to be particularly hard to do, and you can get some setups working without actually working towards any of the quests, but makes your life a hell of a lot easier. So I have made a farmer here. I haven't actually tested the farmer yet. So farmer does need power, so I need to steal one of the solar panels off the pulverizer to get the farmer working, and try that out with the mystical agricultural plants. I kind of think it's going to work, but I just need to confirm that. But then the other thing is a Ender.io farming station, which I expect to be quite far up. Yeah, I could rush this at the moment. So if we take a look at the quests, where are we? Is it way back here? Yeah. So I got thermal expansion and Ender.io over here. This was super easy. Let's say iron and an ender pearl. So this was one of the quests that unlocked once I did the mob farm one. So as soon as I had the ancient golem, boom, done. I'd already completed it. I haven't checked at this. Grains of Infinity sounds like a crazy thing to do, but because I already have that unlocked, I don't think it's going to be as insane. Yeah. See, so yeah, super easy actually. So create a sag mill, or yeah, it doesn't look like. Ender ingots. Yeah. It doesn't look too hard to do anyway. Yeah. So yeah, if I wanted to, I'd probably do that. Do a simple machine chassis. And then there's the soul chassis. So I need that one. And then there's the farming station there. So it probably wouldn't be too hard to get straight there. But like I said, because I'm looking towards Kappa, I'm not trying to rush into any one thing because I know that I won't be able to do that. In Kappa, definitely. In Titan, probably. So I want to go through it a little bit more in the order that the quest book is. You can see here, that's another one that just happened to complete from sifting. And another thing that I could rush if I really wanted to. I've even, like, there's the end of crafting, done that. There's my black iron ingot to get my different crafting tables. You can see this is definitely the in-game sort of stuff. You got your infinity ingots, the chaos ingots, there's all your singularities. So yeah, I'm not trying to push towards that too quickly. Another one that I could probably go through and almost do all of this stuff immediately is the new Metacraft. And I believe this was another one that opened up just after mob farming. So this was just make a TNT, which is super simple in its pack because the recipe is not modified. And then compressed iron, which is really, really easy because all that is setting off TNT with some iron next to it. And then I assume most of this stuff is still based on the compressed iron. So yeah, but not looking to get into that right at the start. So one of the things I am looking at getting into is Erebus for the jade, and now the end. So I might have to make an end cake and go there. The main thing about the end is I need to fight the Ender Dragon. So I need to look into some kind of ranged weaponry, I believe. At the moment I haven't really done anything towards weapons. So yeah, basically what this is offering table requires dense crystal, which is down here somewhere. Here, which requires a simple crystal, which requires Twilight Forest, which is back to this page. This requires a glimmer crystal, which is what I've been doing in Gamma, which is the Embers mod. So that's there. So that's the Ember excavation. This is what requires the bedrock. So that's why I cleared out my smelter, because I need this bedrock, or at least I'm going to try it with this bedrock to set up this Ember bore, get the Ember, kind of set that whole chain in motion. Let's see where we get to. But yeah, what I've been doing here is, so I've removed the furnace. Wondering if I take all this down, because basically as soon as you've got a furnace working, this is completely obsolete. There's nothing that this does that this can't do. So yeah, like I said, I only had this, kept this set up so that I could talk about it first. Now that it's gone, I'll probably set up my furnace. I will probably upgrade this because I definitely have. I could actually do that right now. Yeah, I'm going to do that too. No, I thought you could just turn these into ender pearls. You can just use them as ender pearls. Okay. I've got 0 ender pearls there. Seriously. I must have used them all. So one thing you can do is nebulous heart makes 3. So if we just do 4 of those, and actually, so this chest over here only has stacks of 64 stuff, or maximum stacks, because the MREs only go up to 4. So for example here we've got 64 torches, 64 bones, 64 buckets, 64 mana steel, and I'll just put those in there. So this bag opener is just slowly going through and doing stuff. Every now and then I come in and just go, okay, take all the books. Put the books in the books. And if I've got a couple of full stack things, put them in here. And this is what we've ended up with. Definitely needs to be sorted out a bit more. But it's alright for now. It doesn't matter, because if this fills up, then this can't push, and this just fills up, which means that this just keeps all the loot bags stored. It's nothing. It's no big deal. Okay, now that I got the ender pearls, I didn't realize the furnaces were going to be this easy to make. Okay, near the star and blaze rods, that one's a little bit hard. That's the chops. Yeah. Feathers go there. Eggs go there. So yeah, get a couple more of those. So I'll just set this up where that melter is now, and I need to make an area for farming, but I don't know what that looks like yet. Am I doing garden cloches? Am I doing ender farms, actually addition farms? So I'll probably try it out with the actually additions farmer, and if that works, then we'll be setting up another big area of grass, which to grow all the stuff. Otherwise, the cloches will it'll just be a normal room like this with a wooden floor and then a bunch of cloches in it, and then they'll just be all piping out all their different things. Probably just need 1 cloche per plant, because at the start I'll probably be wanting more stuff, but by the end, you know, just a steady stream, it kind of just builds up. Especially in normal mode, I'm not expecting anything to get insane. So even singularity, like, I haven't actually looked. Yeah, there's only 9,000. That's, yeah. So for reference, in Project Ozone 2 Kappa mode, this was like 50,000 blocks. So, and a block is 9. So that's like 450,000. So this is 9,000 and Kappa was 450,000. So I'm not worried about getting 9,000 redstone. That is going to be super easy. And you can see here, this is all my rack. I have only ever done the greater loot chest. I think I did about 120 rack worth of greater loot chests. Did not get anything satisfactory. Left it. The thing I am looking at is either a flight totem or the sword. Well, the sword's going to be super easy. It's just the blaze rods now, so I just need to actually go to the nether and pick up blaze spawner. So any of you that have watched any other Minecraft vids before might have seen these drops of evil. So what you do is you use a drop of evil to, you right click it on a spawner, the spawner will pop off, or does it just deactivate it? Either way, it allows you to pick up a spawner and move it somewhere else. This is by far the easiest way to get blaze rods. Yeah, so you just go in with a drop of evil, find a blaze spawner, click it, clear the area, grab the spawner, come back here, set up an area, a closed in area that you can put in the blaze spawner, set up a little bit of blaze mob farm. Yeah, easy peasy. So drops of evil drop from wither skeletons. Now wither skeletons spawn, or at least they spawn here in the Darklands. They may not spawn normally in the other thing. Like my third mob farm that I built, basically the first thing that spawned was an ancient golem. Killed it, got the quest, haven't been back since. So I have no idea. But one trick you can do, grab a bucket of witch water, and when you're doing your thing and you find a couple of skeletons, you drop the witch water in here. It turns skeletons into wither skeletons. So there's really very little reason to go to the nether, especially at the start, because you can make netherrack in a barrel, you can make wither skeletons with witch water, you can make soul sand in a barrel. Yeah. Should be taking advantage of these things, because the nether is still a very dangerous place. Yeah. So that's where the rewards are. I haven't actually counted this in a long time, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 times 64, I'll just quickly. So yeah, plus 37. I've got 485. So let's say that I'm 2/3 of the way towards a flight totem, which I'm hoping means creative flight. Very much hoping that's just straight up creative flight. If it is, probably that's the smartest thing to do, is when you start, just save all of your points, get that flight totem. I don't know how long it takes to get flight otherwise. So Supremium, yeah, I don't think that's too far away. Actually, we could probably look at that in the book. That's another thing that that's iota. Okay, so that's Ardite. Ah, yeah, look, that's the third tier of the workbench. I definitely don't want to wait that long. That find obsidian. And there's the glowstone. So yeah, I pushed this a little bit. This was the main reason for making the smeltery finally, was to get the electrum for the armor. Because I was looking at all these and I'm like, aluminium, silver, you know, gold, nickel, lead, osmium, iron. I've got this stuff. And they're holding me up with electrum. So quickly did that. Void crystal sounds crazy, but void crystal is just coal with the atomic reconstructor. Constantan is just another straightforward alloy. Chain is really easy to craft. It's just a bunch of iron. Nori crystal is the same as void crystal. It's made with the atomic reconstructor. It's just iron. Black quartz. I'm waiting for the plants to do that instead of wasting all my quartz converting it into black quartz. I'd rather wait just a little bit. The Inori crystal armor is actually doing quite well. It's not quite as good as diamond armor, but it certainly can absorb the hits, so that's fine. Yeah, I've looked into thorium, but I can't remember exactly. But that'll be, I think that's going to stop me. I think it's a Landia thing. I have no idea what Landia is. I've never heard of it before. And then we've got another nice long run. I'll be able to do all of these up to boron, and I haven't looked at boron yet. But then I can do steel, obsidian, diamonds, diamantine, emeralds, platinum, emeradic. So there's two sticking point ones. There's thorium and then there's boron. Those are the two issue ones to finish off all these first ones. But yeah, so yeah, push that. Obviously it gives you a bit of rack doing all those. It takes a bit of effort too. Yeah, that's fine. Where's that ring? So this probably isn't too bad. Yeah, you can make one of these. The thing is with these, you need some grid power. I think there's limitations. Like it works for like 3 seconds or something. Like you are not putting this on and then going out and flying away from your base to like start building stuff somewhere or anything. It's to like jump to some high places or across some gaps or something. You're not just flying around infinitely. There are jetpacks. I have not looked at the jetpacks yet. I'm assuming because this is normal, they're going to be super easy to make. Here. So I don't know if we can just go through all those and get them. There's a lot of quests here. Like I'm pretty sure I can make all of these machines and all of these right now. So there's nothing really stopping me. But yeah, I've just been focused on doing some mystical agriculture, getting the redstone, playing around with Project Red. Because if it is like AE2 and I can set that up, well, I want to I want to do that. I want to play around with that, even though there's no quests involved. Yeah, and probably canola power. I will start with that. I'll do some canola power. I'll do a Project Red kind of crafting and storage system. So just to talk about the design a little bit here. My previous base that I've had in Minecraft, I thought I should do a one chunk base. Then I can permaload that one chunk. It means it's only one chunk and everything's loaded, and it'll be great because there's 255 blocks high. That's plenty of space. If I dig all the way down to bedrock and just use that full height, it'd be cool. It wasn't bad. It's really quick and easy to set up, so that you know, you just dig out one chunk. It's nice. Yeah, but the thing is, when you want to redecorate or redesign, move things around, you've restricted yourself because you set up these floors. So for example, I set up my bottom 3 floors for doing a canola farm, canola power. The bottom floor was for the void ore miner because it needed bedrock, so I left the bedrock for that. I gave it a fairly high room. Then in there I started putting on my power gen. Then above there I put all the canola plants at the farm. And then above that I had some other rooms doing other things like mob farms and stuff. But I got to the point where I'm like, okay, I planned this out and I thought I had it all perfect, but I could actually do with another layer of canola plants for some extra canola, because the system's actually starving in it. It keeps stopping because I don't have enough enough canola in it to keep all the dynamos running. Well, I couldn't. Okay, that's the first time that chickens have not died in one hit. Oh, and that is very, very bad. So you can see they're not really hurting me. Oh. But they do knock you around a bit. So that's why I went into here, is so that I didn't fall off. Luckily none of these torches actually... Yeah, that's the first time I haven't killed the chicken in one hit. Oh well. Yes, so I decided that the one chunk design didn't work because I couldn't just rejig things very, very easily. Once you've set where your floors are, it's really hard to change it, because for example there I either had to set up another canola farm way higher, like about 150 blocks higher, which means that I would then need to have a system to get all the canola back down, which isn't too hard. You know, we have ender chests. Could have piped everything into an ender chest, and then the ender chest pipe into the drawer system that I was using in the bottom layers for the canola, but I just, yeah, to me it's like, it's a bit not disorganized, but just not proper to have everything so separated and stuff when they should be together. So I decided that I didn't like that design as much as I thought I would. So I looked for some other designs. There's kind of not that much. Like if you do a Google search for Minecraft base, there isn't that much. There's a few pictures of bases and stuff, but a lot of them just, to be blunt, they look crap. They're just variations of put some cobble slabs down and put some fences around, which I didn't want to do. Like, I get it, it's really practical and easy to do, but I wanted something that had a little bit more style to it. And I found a picture that was actually just like a storage system where you walk in and then there's just like rows and rows of chests for like 2 stories, and then you walk up some stairs and you can walk around the second thing. And it looks quite cool to me, and I was like, well, I could convert that into an actual base that was just like a storage room. But I was like, okay, we can have a bottom floor which has all the storage. They have some drawers and some ME drives and stuff when it gets to AE2 and things like that, storage crates, whatever. And a lot of the manual stuff, so crafting, some sifting or whatever, stuff like the crushing table, maybe a furnace, things like that. And the whatever they call that now, ender crafting thing, the atomic reconstructor, ender crafter, yeah, and all that sort of stuff, and have it down here. So this is like my base. I have a bed or something, and if I'm doing manual work, this is where I am. And then up here, this will be a balcony that branches off to all sorts of rooms with all the different themes with them. So this is like metal processing kind of thing. You've got your steel, your smelter, you have a furnace here. It's joined to the sifting room, which is getting this stuff for the furnace, and put other things in here like that. This room is all the barrel type stuff, the early game resource things. You've got your cobble, your charcoal, your dirt, and you've got your wood, and your sticks, and your clay, and your soul sand, and lava, and your water. And then, that's the passive mob farm. I just put the nether portal there because I was lazy, but I'll probably just turn that into a portal room instead of a passive farm or something. I don't know. And then the mob farm there. So that's the idea, is that all the stuff that I build I'll just bust a hole through here and put out another platform on the side and do stuff like that. I believe that if we keep it tidy, if we keep it cleaned up, that's all that we will need, is just all this area. Like the melter, don't need that, so get rid of it, put something else there. Same thing with the mob farms. So the mob farms are going to go, because I'm at the point now where I'll be making an automatic one, if I make one at all. I don't know if I actually need. I've got so much stuff from loot bags already that, it's like, I don't know if I actually need that. Maybe the experience or something, essence, but then that will be a different farm. That'll be with like the mob grinder or crusher or and whatever mobs, the slaughterer and things. So yeah, one of the things I will be doing as I tidy all this stuff up is to take down that mob farm and take down that mob farm. For now, I will leave the third mob farm because it's so far away, and just in case I do need it for something. But yeah. So yeah, I'll leave it here. I will be doing some experimenting with the crops and things and automatic farming and trying to get that all sorted. So next video I might have some canola power and some farmers set up, which would be nice. And then basically it ends up that my process is just going to be, it must be up here, okay, delta. It's just to fill in all these seeds, get them all going. Because as soon as I got the seeds, right, then that's how you make those resources. I don't have to worry. It's like, as soon as I've got an electrotine seed, there's no more sifting for electrotine or redstone alloy. I just grow some more plants and get things that way. So basically I just need to get enough to create the initial seed, and then I'm good. So I think that's my goal. Once I've got the farm set up to actually do it, is just to get all the seeds. I won't be 10-10-10ing them right away. I am trying to get some levels on the redstone and the black quartz, because they're lemon slow at the start, and because I want those resources right now, you know. It's not like a dirt seed or something where I've already got enough dirt. I just know that I'll probably need more in the future or anything like that. So yeah, but yeah, I'll work through all these, the tier 1 seeds, and then on to the tier 2 and the tier 3, and yeah, go through like that. So in order to get all the seeds, I'll be going to all the different places like Erebus and stuff. So it's not like I'm just sitting here crafting and watching seeds go. In order to create these seeds, I'm going to have to do a lot of things to get there. But this is just the way that I want to approach the pack. Yeah, so it's going to be important to get the farming sorted in a way that I'm happy with. I still don't know that much about mystical agriculture. I know that Willix did it a little bit for Stone Block. So I'm planning on going back and watching some of those episodes of Stone Block where he's doing some of this stuff, just so I can see how to do it, because I'm not having any trouble getting through and doing it myself. But I'm probably doing it very inefficiently, and it's probably taken me a lot longer to do it than it should. Which, you know, is fine for now. Like, this playthrough is learning things. I'm not too worried about how long it's taking, as long as I finish it before Titan's here. But yeah. Just want to see. Eight. Number of deaths, 8. And I've killed 455 mobs. Distance flown, 360 meters. It's more like distance fell. Yeah. 8 deaths. It's not as bad as I thought, actually. That's fine. Yeah, so I'll see you in the next one before I keep rambling for another hour.